I'm at the door.
On March 16th, 2023, the first official trailer for the doomed film, Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken, was released to the public. There's already a problem with the release date of this trailer, as the film was set to be released only 3 months afterwards, on June 30th. You see, most movies usually release their trailers about 4 to 5 months before the actual movie is released in order to give the movie enough time to breathe within the public conscience. And even then, the release of a formal trailer will still be sometime after the release of a teaser trailer, which Ruby Gillman did not have. Yep, you heard me right. This movie didn't even have a teaser trailer released for it, meaning that the film was under wraps for months until the official trailer released in March. This is clearly not enough time for any hyper fanfare. At a short turnaround time between reveal and release basically doomed this movie from becoming anything more than a throwaway film by audiences. The trailer also revealed way too much information as well, as the final fight in the main conflict was showcased without second thought from the editors. To many potential viewers, the trailer had enough spoilers for them not to be interested in watching the actual film. Another problem with the trailer was the fact that the movie didn't look interesting at all, with the film being compared to Turning Red by many people. The comparison to Turning Red is pretty accurate, as the premise of Ruby Gillman involves a teenage sea monster discovering her identity while dealing with her overprotective mother, whereas Turning Red revolves around a teenager discovering herself while turning into a panda, dealing with her overprotective mother throughout. The sea monster transforming into a human plot was already done in Luca, which was released 2 years prior to the release of this film. All these factors have to be considered when discussing why people aren't interested in this film. The perceived lack of interest helps us to propose one of the reasons why this film is struggling. Struggling is an understatement. However, the uninteresting trailer is only one of the film's many problems when it comes to the lack of success at the box office. Moving on, one major aspect we must analyze to figure out why this film is currently bombing is the marketing, as the film was barely marketed preceding its release. Besides the occasional YouTube ad, the movie wasn't promoted anywhere. In fact, the most promotion of this film I've seen was right after the film was released, and even then, they were the basic social media promotional images. Other than that, the movie didn't receive any proper promotion, with students a failure right from the get-go. The poor marketing of this film reminds me of how Disney treated Strange World, another movie that received little to no advertising before release. Similar to Strange World, Universal decided not to promote this movie outside of a few social media ads, with said social media ads not being seen until the movie was released in theaters. The only difference between the treatment of these films are the budget, as Ruby Gillman only has a budget of $70 million compared to a $180 million budget of Strange World. Given this circumstance, Universal will lose way less money from Ruby Gillman than Disney did with Strange World. Honestly, I feel as if Universal didn't really care about the success of this movie, as every factor revolving around the film's marketing seems as if they knew it would fail at the box office. The fact that the movie wasn't officially announced until March and only had 3 months to breathe also proves my point regarding the series. 3 months is too short of a time for a movie's announcement and subsequent release, as most films are announced months, if not years, before they are officially released so they can be marketed successfully. Another recent animated flop, Elemental, has the distinction of having proper marketing and build up to release, meaning that people didn't see the film due to how generic it looked. Although Elemental somewhat rebounded after word of mouth, Ruby Gillman will most likely not receive that second chance. The film is currently at 68% on Rotten Tomatoes, while Rotten Tomatoes is looked upon as a trusted source for the quality of movies. This film doesn't look interesting anyway. The 5.9 out of 10 IMDb rating also isn't that surprising, as the movie looks as if it doesn't bring anything new on the table. That's without mentioning the ugly art style and bizarre character designs, as nothing in this film looks appealing enough to watch on the big screen. In fact, the movie looks like a Netflix exclusive, and even that's insulting to Netflix animated movies. All this discussion about the aesthetics of the film brings me to my next point: audience expectations. With the way the economy is going at this time, movie theaters are getting even more expensive than they were just a half decade ago. Due to this issue, audiences are more likely to go to theaters as they know that the movie they're gonna watch will be a worthwhile experience. And to be frank, Ruby Gillman doesn't look to be a worthwhile experience. That's without mentioning the absolute clutter of movies this summer, and one can see why Ruby Gillman wouldn't be anyone's first pick. Spider-Man seems to be the only film this summer to become a box office success, as the film is actually worth the inconvenience of going to the theaters for. The $100 million budget of the film also guaranteed that the movie will turn a profit, which I cannot say about many other films released this summer. In terms of Ruby Gillman, the $70 million budget is one of the lows out of recent animated blockbuster releases, so the loss wouldn't be as much of a detriment to Universal. However, we are forgetting one major aspect relating to this film: the marketing budget, or lack thereof. While the production budget of Ruby Gillman is projected to be around $70 million, we have to take into account the potential marketing budget, or lack thereof, for this film. While the marketing budget of most films is about half the production budget, I'm going to take some creative liberties and estimate that the marketing budget for Ruby Gillman was 1/4 the production budget blockbuster for reasons I will discuss. As we all know by this point, Ruby Gillman wasn't properly marketed, as the film only had 3 complete months of promotion, with April and May having almost no promotion besides the release of the second trailer in May. To say that this is ideal for marketing a film is an understatement, as most films have about 6 to 9 months between the initial teaser trailer and physical theatrical release. The lack of time to promote this film definitely affected how well the film could have performed, as if it had, say, 6 months of promotion, the film would have enough time to breathe, which would have definitely improved the performance of this movie. Even with the short release cycle, the film still could have succeeded if it had the right amount of marketing that reflected the 3 months between reveal and release. However, due to the assumed low marketing budget for this film, $17.5 million is my estimate, nothing in that caliber could come to fruition. The most marketing I heard for the film was that it was featured in Pop Tropica. Remember Pop Tropica? The game that made us play back in the day on school computers? You know, the game that fell off the face of the earth after the mid-2010s? Yeah.
Yo, bro, why are you doing that?
Trying to market a brand new film in 2023 on a dead browser game isn't the brightest idea, Universal. Speaking of Universal, Illumination, a Universal-owned animation studio, is well known for the creative and effective marketing, to the point that I created a whole video talking about it. With this in mind, I find it incredibly peculiar that Universal doesn't give DreamWorks films the same marketing budget to give the films created by Illumination. My always theory is that since DreamWorks is an acquired studio, Universal doesn't really care about the success of their films compared to the success of films created by Illumination, Universal's exclusive animation studio. I honestly don't know why they don't promote DreamWorks films compared to Illumination films, as corporations need to spend money in order to make money, and effective marketing is crucial to having a film become a hit. I already talked about the ways this film was unable to become the success it could have been at the box office, but I believe that there was a major factor that stumbled the film's potential: Universal themselves. With all the previously presented evidence, I come to the conclusion that Universal didn't have any faith in this film. Therefore, they decided to wait until the very last minute to promote and release this film to the public. It all checks out. The short marketing and release cycle, the lack of marketing, and the spoiler-heavy trailer weeks of Universal having no faith in the success of this film. Original ideas are a gamble nowadays in terms of the box office, so Universal having no interest in a film that is pretty niche by design is pretty understandable when looking at the successful films at the box office. Either way, I believe Universal started giving this film a chance to succeed, as this is a DreamWorks movie for crying out loud. The fact that Universal spends a massive amount of money promoting Illumination's film while neglecting to promote DreamWorks' recent films baffles me, as promotion is necessary for these films to succeed. While the recently released DreamWorks films have done pretty well at the box office, they could have done so much more as Universal promoted their films in the same area as Illumination films. This film didn't even have a day to prove itself, as Universal announced a July 18th bar release on the same day of release, killing the film's potential at the box office permanently. The announcement of the digital release was Universal shooting itself in the foot, metaphorically speaking. Why would anyone want to see this film in theaters if they know that it will be released on digital just 2.5 weeks afterwards? That's without mentioning the fact that theaters was shortened the showcase of the movie due to the quick digital release. Unknown to most people, the title of this film was changed from Meet the Gilmans to Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken for some odd reason, and I say that due to the new title explaining nothing about the movie. The new title always states the identity of the main character, which isn't considered enticing enough for new audiences to decide to see a film. Some people might try to counter my point by saying that Shrek, a DreamWorks film that was successful at the box office, also had a title based only on a character's name. While that is technically true, Shrek was released at a time where CGI animated films were considered new and innovative, meaning that the film would stand out against everything else in the market at that time. That's without mentioning the impact Shrek had on animated films by subverting common tropes with a comedic edge. I feel as if DreamWorks should have kept the title of Meet the Gilmans or anything besides the title they came out with at the end of the day. I find it hilarious that within a few minutes, I always saw 2 respectful titles for these movies: Mermaids vs. Krakens and The Gilmans vs. the Mermaids. These titles tell audiences what they're in for before deciding to watch the movie in theaters. Had this film received a title to entice audiences similar to the ones I saw it within minutes, this film could have had a better chance of succeeding at the box office. Ruby Gillman is a film that had many factors for its catastrophic failure at the box office, but at the end of the day, Universal themselves were the biggest culprit. Everything from the poor marketing to the quick ball release is all the fault of Universal having no faith in this movie's success. Ruby Gillman is an example of a studio setting up the media to film due to higher-ups believing that a piece of media had no chance of success outright, when that is usually not the case. Woody Mouse also couldn't say this movie, as the film isn't good at all. Everything about the movie is as generic as possible. The characters, plot points, designs, and animation reeks of an Illumination film, not a DreamWorks film. You can say the same about the Boss Baby films, which isn't a good sign. If you watch the trailer, you watch the movie. That's all I can say about it. While the quality of the film definitely matters in terms of the box office, it isn't the end-all be-all for a movie's box office success, as marketing is always the #1 factor. Had Universal given this movie a chance, maybe, just maybe, this film could have become a box office success. But here we are, searching for reasons why this film bombed, even when said reasons are as clear as day. Ruby Gillman would go down in history as one of DreamWorks' biggest failures, and that's a shame, snubbing the quality of the film itself.
well, I hate names.
Okay, guys, Gordon here. This be my official apology video. Look, I said some insensitive things about the
Blacks?
OMG, are you live streaming?
This is for all my haters. Your one-star reviews mean nothing.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.